you want a clicker?
I would love a clicker, thank you.
All yours.
Well, that's me. All right, into the wild. So I'm gonna. Oh no, I'll just go now. I usually take the train to work every morning, and this morning was no exception. I got on and I sat down in my seat by the window and put my laptop on my knee and ignored it instantly, and looked out the window at the cars crawling very slowly along the southern motorway, feeling superior. And but it weirdly got me thinking about trajectory, and more specifically the trajectory that led from a brand strategist in advertising who studied linguistics and didn't know how to work her email properly, to this moment where I'm standing on a stage in front of you all as the co-founder of a tech company. And it's an odd journey that I credit half with luck and half with a series of traits and kind of skills that I've developed over my life so far that have really helped kind of pave the way. So I'm going to run through a few of those with you tonight and talk to you a little bit about that. This is my family. Not my extended family, these are my 8 siblings and my mum and the kids, so it's big. And you can imagine it gets quite loud. And I think the thing that really strikes me about growing up in a big family is that you become an opportunist instantly from the moment you're born. Any opportunity that comes past your face, you grab, whether you want it, whether you can do anything with it, where you're capable of making it work for you, you take it. And I think that was the cornerstone trait that I developed young, that everything else in my career has been built on. And it's a thing that I really encourage people to find space for. Then my first real job was in advertising, and it was like this all the time, actually, to be honest. But it was a place where I found a deep love for comms. I really love digging into people and what motivates them and unpack what makes us buy things. You know, it's an interesting thing. But the thing that advertising really built for me was an understanding of how to create and then harness confidence. The ability to understand that I can genuinely add value. This brain works. The ideas that it comes up with are sometimes good. And put that into practice in my life and meetings. I can feel confident. I know I can walk in places and tell people things and they're going to have impact. Advertising gave me that, and it also gave me a secret trick to understand how to externalize that confidence. Everyone feels like a fraud sometimes. Everyone loses faith in their ability to add value and to do things. What advertising taught me to do was to look back at my body of work that I'd created and have that confidence looking at me, being able to see proof, evidence that I added value to something, that I was useful and that I can do things well. Being able to carry that with me through life, always when I'm struggling, I can look back at my body of work and go, oh, I do add value. Even if I don't feel like it today, I know objectively I do, and therefore I can fake it till I make it. In 2009, just when the GFC was hitting and sort of finding its feet, I got made redundant, which was probably another MUV talk. But after a very circuitous route around Europe, I came back to New Zealand and started my very first proper, actual, real business that charged people money for things. And it was a lesson in taking hold of that confidence that I'd built in advertising and adding it to a very rapidly progressing development of the trait of resilience. Being able to, that company, that business just taught me so much about how to fail productively. I jumped off every cliff I could see. I was so naive. I jumped off every cliff I could see and most of the time landed in a bloody heap at the bottom. And I did that over and over and over again. And the thing that was really valuable about that was that it taught me that I am terrible at working alone. And so I got out of that business, I got a strength and a resilience, and I got the knowledge that I will never ever do a business by myself again. about that time, actually, I met a guy called Hayden on Twitter, and he was in the same boat. And we got together with a couple of our other friends, one of whom I'm married to now, and we started a new business called The Common Room. I was really good at comm strategy. I was really good at building brands. I understood how they worked and how to connect with people. Hayden was really good at building digital stuff. He's a great digital designer, and he understood how to develop products. Together, The Common Room built strategies and products and apps and tools that were digital for companies that were trying to find a way to meet their evolving markets. It was my first foray into the tech world, really. What The Common Room taught me, gave me better than anything else really, was a finessed skill at dot connection. I really understood how to take skills and attributes and pieces of knowledge that seemingly had no relationship to each other, and I definitely hadn't thought had any relation to technology or products in the tech world, and apply them to problems with a tech outcome. I could look at something and say, oh, this thing that I have experienced over here that has nothing to do with the digital world, I see how I can twist that and make that help me come up with a digital solution. And that was a really important, that dot connection trait was really valuable. One of the projects that we worked in The Common Room was with these guys, Simon and Dale, on their, and doing an exploration into the recruitment industry. And off the back of that, Weirdly was born. So this is where I am now, right? Every step that I took in all of those jobs and careers and family lives and bits of my life's work built traits that got me to the point that I can do the job that I do in the startup that I have. Oh, look, I've lost my place. That's right. It's a scary thing starting a tech startup when you're not a technical person. So the question that I had to ask myself was, what is the thing that I can contribute? And this is a really great question to ask yourself if you're thinking about a career in tech, but you're not a coder. What is the thing that I am great at that the tech industry or the sector or where I am working is missing? For me, that was about humanity. It was about understanding what drives people and how to package a really complex idea and sell it to someone who doesn't speak binary, how to talk to them like a human. The idea of making tech more human is essentially a comms challenge. For you, it might be something different, but I really challenge you to map out your career path to date, all of your life's experience, and look at those traits that you've developed and think about how they could apply to a career in tech. You might find something you never expected, like I did. Thank you.